What if your prayer was heard the very first day, but the answer did not arrive for 21 days? That is exactly what happened to Daniel. The reason reveals one of Scripture's strangest glimpses into the unseen world. Daniel had survived kingdoms. Babylon had fallen. Persia now ruled. But Daniel remained what he had always been, a man of prayer. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, Daniel received a troubling revelation. He began to mourn. For 3 full weeks, he ate no pleasant food. No meat or wine touched his lips. And day after day, Daniel prayed. But nothing happened. One day became 7, 7 became 14, then 21. To Daniel, heaven appeared silent. But Daniel could not see what was happening beyond the visible world. Then, on the 24th day of the 1st month, Daniel stood beside the great river, the Tigris. He lifted his eye and suddenly, he saw a man clothed in linen. Daniel describes his body as like beryl. His face was like lightning. His eyes burned like torches of fire. His arms and feet gleamed like polished bronze. And his voice sounded like the roar of a multitude. The men with Daniel did not see the vision, but somehow they sensed its presence. A great terror overwhelmed them, and they ran away. Daniel was left alone. His strength vanished. He fell toward the ground. Then the heavenly messenger touched him and said, "Daniel, man greatly beloved." And then he revealed something Daniel could never have discovered on his own. From the first day that you set your heart to understand, your words were heard. From the first day. Daniel had waited 21 days, but God had heard him on day 1. So why did the answer take 3 weeks? The messenger continued, "The prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days." Now the story changed completely. Daniel knew Persia as kings, armies, palaces, and governor. But the messenger revealed another dimension connected to Persia, an unseen ruler called the Prince of Persia. Scripture does not tell us exactly what this resistance looked like. Images of swords and angels fighting above Persian cities are cinematic interpretation, but Daniel 10 clearly tells us that the heavenly messenger was resisted for 21 days. And then someone came to help him, Michael. The messenger says, "Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me." On earth, an elderly prophet knelt in prayer. No armies, no thunder, no visible miracle. Just a man waiting on God. But in the unseen realm, something was delaying the messenger sent to him. Every sunrise, Daniel saw another day of resistance had passed. Every evening, Daniel wondered whether God had heard him. The answer was already in motion. And then Michael entered the conflict. The resistance was broken. The messenger reached Daniel, and suddenly, those 21 silent days looked completely different. The delay did not mean God had ignored him. The silence did not mean nothing was happening. Daniel simply could not see the whole story. Near the end, the messenger says he must return to fight the Prince of Persia. Then he says, the Prince of Greece will come. Persia was an empire. Greece would become another. Daniel is shown a spiritual dimension behind earthly kingdoms. We should be careful. Daniel 10 does not permit us to blame every political event on demons or invent explanations Scripture never gives. Instead, it reveals one extraordinary truth. The visible world is not the whole world. Daniel saw silence. Heaven saw conflict. Daniel saw 21 days of waiting. God had heard him on the first day. Daniel saw Persia. For one moment, God allowed him to glimpse something behind the empire. And maybe that is the most powerful lesson in Daniel 10. An unanswered prayer is not necessarily an unheard prayer. There may be things happening that you cannot see. Daniel could count the days, but he could not see the battle. Until heaven pulled back the curtain, and for one astonishing moment, Daniel discovered that while he had been praying on earth, a war had been raging in the unseen realm.